I can't say I have ever expected the interior of Heather's home to look like this, even having known her most of my life. The first thing that hits me is the smell. It reminds me of one of those fancy candle and soap stores in the mall, but with the sort of dusty, mildewy stink that lingers in my sinuses. Very floral overall. Potpourri, I think it's called. The next thing I notice is the decor. Much like the exterior, there definitely appears to be some kind of fantasy, castle like theming going on here. However, the person going for said theme is certainly no interior designer. Bubbly wallpaper, cheap knickknacks, and blurry printed JPEG pictures of fairy tale characters coat the walls. Pink pennant banners dangle from the ceiling, and crushed glitter can be seen reflecting from within the weaving of the carpet. It's like a child's birthday party took place here, but judging from the faded appearance, it's been like this for a while. As I glance to my left, I notice an entire wall has been knocked down, the structural framing inadequately hidden by flower-coated curtains. Beyond said curtains is a large chair, and a long red rug leading up to it. It takes me a moment to realize that it's supposed to be some kind of throne, lit harshly by the bright white fluorescent lights. Despite the attempted fanciful presentation, cluttered floors hinder whatever intended effect of opulence they were trying to go for. I can see old VHS tapes, candy wrappers, CRT monitors, disposable cameras, children's toys, all scattered about. Past the throne is what I think was supposed to be the living room. But instead of chairs, there's just this mattress on the floor, which is covered in throw pillows and beach blankets. I even recognize one as having the logo of Southwest Adventures. Seeing that makes me realize how long ago it feels like all of us were at that theme park, carefree for the most part. Flynn steps up to the knockdown wall, repeater clutched under one arm.
Guessing they didn't get a permit for this demo.
As if on cue, a gust of rolling wind hits the house, and I can practically feel it shudder. Unstable. Ligila quickly refocuses, keeping his slitted gaze pointed down the hall for any sudden movement. Beyond that, the house is quiet for the most part, outside of the occasional dripping noise coming from somewhere I can't see. Nuts. Completely nuts. Leo mutters, shaking his head at his surroundings. Yeah, none of us come here. Never actually been inside before. Others' dad never lets anyone in. Now I can see why. Leo and the rest begin moving down the hall, while Jenna steps up beside me. She has a contemplative frown upon her muzzle. It's kind of weird and familiar in a way. It's all I can say initially, until I begin to start placing why. This place reminds me of, old thrift stores and cheesy parties I went to as a kid. I can't imagine living here. It's not as dirty as I thought it would be. Jenna muses, though something catches her eye in the entranceway to the kitchen. Soon I'm following her, approaching what looks like a laminated, colored pencil drawing posted on the wall with rainbow-colored tacks. King and Princess, palace. Jenna's frown deepens. On the picture, there's a large, bespectacled feline man sitting on a grand golden throne. It's quite an upgrade from the dingy orange recliner draped in cut-up fabrics they've got out front, that's for sure. Next to him, sitting cross-legged, is what looks like a drawing of Heather. She's in a stereotypical pink princess gown with a little tiara on her head. The two are holding hands. It's such a sentimental picture. It actually seems pretty sweet that even Heather has someone who cares about her enough as this. However, Jenna's dour expression does not relent. She quickly turns, heading down the hall with the rest of the gang. Flynn and Leo continue to take point, the Gila keeping his rifle at the ready. Still no sign of anyone, though. Part of me wonders how wise it is to be carrying a gun with all this mind-altering hysteria business going on. Flynn turning on any of us is pretty unfathomable, the lizard having always been all bark and no bite. Still, seeing one of my old friends brandishing a weapon, it's a weird feeling. I pop into one of the rooms along the main hall that still has the lights on. It looks like some kind of study, and it's much less cluttered than the rest of the house. There's a small desk beside the door with a laptop and a stack of papers next to it, most of them with Reclamation Bureau letterhead. At a glance, the documents mention things like water tables, hydrology reports, and map revisions for floodplain boundaries. It all sounds like pretty heady stuff. It's odd that Heather's dad lives in such a shitty place despite having such a technical-sounding job. TJ wanders in beside me, staring blearily into the empty room. I reach over, placing a paw on the lynx's shoulder. He flinches a little, but doesn't draw back. "You feeling better, Tej?" I ask, keeping my voice soft for his sake. "Yeah," TJ responds, rubbing his arms. His fur looks puffier than usual, most likely the result of him being so on edge. "I know we're looking for Carl, but I hope Heather's okay too." I withdraw my paw, giving him a sidelong look as I check behind the few pieces of furniture that are in here. "Oh? I didn't figure you two were that close." "At least not anymore." You don't have to be close to someone to be worried about them." I'm not about to argue with TJ on this one, but the way he speaks makes it sound more like he's reciting something than speaking from the heart. I step back out into the main area. Down the hall, I hear the clatter of falling boxes, followed by a hushed swear from Flynn.
Watch your step.
"Get off my ass! My adrenaline buzz is wearing off." "You can relax. It doesn't look like anyone's here."
What? That doesn't mean you can fucking relax. It means that Carl is still out there with those crackhead fuckfaces. I'm sure when he's dead, you'll relax plenty.
"Flynn!" I can hear the lizard spit, cutting him off.
Fuck you, Leo.
Jenna sighs loudly, interjecting. "Flynn, you know I didn't mean it that way." The bickering continues as I realize there's still a room at the back end of the hall with the lights off. I make my way over, stepping into the doorway and peering into the blackness as I fumble around for the light switch. I find myself shielding my eyes from the glare of the unshaded light hanging from above. For a moment, I thought I saw something move in the corner, though it must have just been the glare. This room reminds me of the foyer, a cluttered mess with exposed drywall, electrical wiring, and damp spots all over the ceiling. There's a window to my right, and I think I can see Duke's truck parked outside. Duke mentioned something about Heather taking it while we were locked up with Brian. At first, I think it's some kind of storage room, but then I noticed a pink couch in the corner with a blanket, pillow, and alarm clock. There are dirty clothes piled up beside it, and judging from all the bras and panties, this must be where Heather sleeps. There's even a little closet in the corner with crayon children's drawings posted over the door. I take a step in, though I stop when something catches my eye. In the right-hand corner of the room, where I thought I saw something move earlier, a little green light blinks in the shadows. As I approach, I notice something. A pastel pink baby monitor thing with a photograph taped above it. The picture is what looks like a fennec fox on the outskirts of Echo, staring at... well, I'm not sure. A shooting star? The fox kinda looks like Keith. Weird. I flip over the photo and notice that there is some smudged writing on the back. Whatever it once said is utterly illegible now. I put it back and shift my focus to the monitor beneath it. It appears to be decades old, judging by the worn paint, but it's apparently still functional. For some reason, I really can't explain, I pick it up and press the single circular button in the center. It crackles with a low hissing sound, and that's when I realize it's some kind of walkie-talkie. After a few seconds of holding the button, I speak into it. Hello? I nearly jump out of my skin at the groaning noise. Mainly because it isn't coming from the device. It's coming from inside the room. My eyes dart around for the source, eventually finding one of the blankets piled up on the floor behind a table. It starts to move and I quickly back up. Leo, get in here! Heavy footfalls can be heard sprinting down the hall outside, the wolf pushing his way in with wild eyes.
What? What's going on?
He looks ready to pounce, though is met only by me and a bedraggled-looking ram trying to untangle the comforter from his horns.
Oh, shit! Carl!
There's a squeaky noise from the closet, and I notice Carl's unfocused green eyes start to wander in that direction. I look over and see the folding doors are slightly ajar. Were they like that before? That's when I see it. An eye. It peers through the crack, wide and bloodshot. The door is rammed from the inside, knocking it to the side and sending toys and other miscellaneous junk flying. A hanging light bulb flickers in the closet as a figure steps through. I quickly realize it's Heather. She has blood on her legs and a revolver in her grasp.
You! Get out! Go the hell away!
I quickly throw up my paws. Leo hesitates a moment, then does the same.
Hey, girlie, we mean you no harm. We just need...
Leo stops talking, and I'm not sure why. That is, until Heather shifts out of the way and I can see more clearly into the flickering closet. Hunched against the wall is what looks like an enormous doll. Upon further inspection, it's not a doll at all. It's a man. And there's a red smear on the wall behind him. I recognize him from the drawing, a portly fellow with circular glasses, each of the lenses shattered by bullet holes. There are just empty sockets where his eyes once were. Atop his head is a little plastic crown, embedded with costume jewelry. Oh, shit! Micah walks in the room, quickly recoiling at the sight of Heather and the figure in the closet. Carl huddles back down against the floor, seemingly trying to make himself look small. At first, Micah starts to approach the closet, but quickly stops as Heather brings up the revolver, pointing it at all of us. I've never actually looked down the barrel of a gun before, and the feeling is petrifying. Heather! What the fuck are you doing? It's me, Micah! I don't care. You need to go. She shifts the revolver over, aiming it unsteadily at Micah. We all take a step back, my back now against the wall. Where the hell is Flynn? Did you shoot your dad? Holy fuck! Heather!
Michael.
Leo rumbles in warning. That's our fucking dad in the closets! I will kill all of you! A shot rings out and Micah flinches. The weapon was aimed at him when it went off. He blinks, shocked, the bat's hands beginning to shake as he checks his torso. He whirls around, spotting a light spray of blood around the bullet hole in the wall. That's when the pain hits him, and he slowly begins to raise his wing. Clipped right through the center is a bloody hole, the edges of the impact site still looking like frayed fabric. The bat slumps back, exuding ragged gasps. You fucking shot me?! Leo's eyes bulge, and he starts to move, but stops when the revolver is swiveled toward him. Heather! I shout, trying to draw attention away from the others. Though I quickly realize I have no clue what to say. We're just looking for Carl. Remember? Like we mentioned during the bonfire? My voice is shaky, cracking as I speak. The cat's chest rises and falls like she's hyperventilating. It's been that way since she stepped out of the closet. She makes her way over toward the slumped form of Carl, still half covered in his blanket. Then she points the gun down at him. I'm going to shoot him in his stupid, fat, ugly face unless you leave right now! She's absolutely screaming. Her demands spouted with such a pitch her voice constantly cracks. Tears begin to roll down her already wet cheeks, her eyes puffy. Beneath her, Carl covers his face with the blanket, visibly trembling from a mixture of fear and exhaustion. Okay, right on! I swallow. That's the plan. Right, guys? We're just gonna leave. Nice and slow? I do my best to put on a calm face as I nod to Leo and Micah. Are you fucking kidding me? Micah's outburst is directed toward me. No, not after we came all this way. We're not leaving the rich boy. He practically hisses his words. He's cupping a hand over his wound and trying to avoid stretching the skin of his wing, as that seems to just make the hole bigger. Heather! You have no reason to be keeping that chunky bitch here! Just let us take his ass and leave! Leave? Heather repeats. I have nowhere else to go. Nowhere! Everything used to be bad, but not terrible like this. Keith barely talks to me anymore, and when he does, he says... She breathes in shakily. He says the meanest things. I cover my ears and I can still hear him. Keith is fucking gone. Unless he gave you some secret cell phone number I don't know about. You can't be speaking to him. Micah neglects to mention what we discovered about Brian's habits and the potential fate of his fox friend. But it's probably for the best that isn't brought up. This is all hum shits. Plain and simple. Duh! Duh, stupid! I know that! That doesn't explain anything, though. You just give it a silly name. But it's not silly. It's horrible and I hate it! Michael opens his mouth to snap back, but Heather shrieks, a blubbering of spit coming from her mouth, snot running down her nose. She begins to press her finger closer to the trigger. Carl, move! She doesn't fully finish pulling the trigger, leaving us all staring wide-eyed in suspense. She looks like she's dry-heaving, trying to throw up, an immense sick feeling within her that will not leave. I can barely hear anything anymore! The ringing is so loud! It just sounds like him! He won't stop! Heather flails in the direction of the shadowy figure in the closet. Even though the man in the closet is very much dead, he's propped up in a way that makes it look like he's watching Heather pace around the room. His dark sockets following her while her back is turned. She seems afraid to look at him. The feline closes her eyes for a moment. I can tell Leo is weighing his chances of whether he can tackle her to the ground before she can get a shot off. Before he can move, they open again, and she speaks, her voice still shrill but quieter. Everyone thinks I'm stupid, that I'll never do anything but run away like everyone else. It has nothing to do with what Duke, or Brian, or Jeremy, or Clint, or anyone thinks will fix things. This whole town is so shit! No argument there. Micah mumbles, wide-eyed. It's not your fault. They're wrong. I don't even really know you. She points the pistol at me, and it's like my heart crawls up into my throat, my whole body rigid with fear. This town is evil. And I'm going to stop it. I'm going to do something with my life for once, and not be some plaything. She growls at the ground as she says this. It's what Keith told me all the time before he went away for a while. Heather stands there, shaking in place, as if trying to muster the courage to do something. She begins to strafe, getting closer to the closet and bending down to pick up something beside the corpse. It's a bloody folder, with a little booklet stapled to the front. I recognize the emblem on the cover. The Reclamation Bureau. Heather's paw covers the front, but I can still make out Otter's Dam Basic Operation and Procedures Manual. Outside, there's some movement by Duke's truck. Trying to not draw attention to myself, I glance out the window and spot the familiar pattern of orange and black scales in TJ's tufty fur. There's a glint of something metallic, Flynn's repeater, which is currently sighted toward the hysterical cat. Heather is so close to us now. Flynn wouldn't risk trying to take the shot. Right? The idea of Flynn shooting anyone is just unfathomable in its own right. Jenna's out there with them, too. She's speaking to Flynn, pointing. The lizard is shaking, saying something back. This back and forth continues. What are you even talking about? I'm gonna make it so there's no town. As Heather turns away, she catches a glimpse of the blood on the folder, then looks back toward the closet. She screams, but she's not staring at the corpse. It's like she's looking above it, at something else at eye level. Daddy! Glass shatters against my back, showering chloral below. Heather lurches forward, trying to scream, but all that spews forth from her mouth is blood. It pulls through her gritted teeth into a puddle on the floor, Heather flailing to gasp for air as fluid fills her lungs. She falls head first into the pool of her own fluids, tears still rolling down her face. Micah stands with his head in his hands, a look of shock plastered on his face. Nobody moves. Nobody says anything. Jenna enters the room first, her turquoise eyes fixed on the bloody form laying in the center of the room. Flynn is right behind her, looking initially rather gormless, though his eyes start to widen as he realizes what he's done. Oh! Good shot, Flynn. Everyone all right? I catch my breath against the wall, looking up only to see that slumped form still staring ahead in the closet. Quietly, I close the closet door. Yeah, I guess. Jenna looks over to Micah, spying the bullet hole in his wing. Her complexion darkens, and soon she's standing over Heather's body. The feline's eyes are still wide open, glassy with a sort of eternal shock. Jenna promptly delivers a swift kick to her head, Heather's neck now turned at a stiff angle. Bitch! Flynn rests his palms on his knees, exuding a dry retch. Leo steps over, trying to inspect Micah's wound. Flynn? Guys? Jenna's attention shifts to the ram on the floor. Carl, you can get up. It's safe now. We're free? Yes. And that makes 2 of these bastards who have tried to hurt us that we've put down. Flynn stops coughing up air long enough to gape at Jenna. That we put down? Flynn points to Heather. I killed her! I'm the one who pulled the trigger! Flynn's voice is strange, way more high-pitched than I'm used to. Right after I told you to. Yeah, I listened to you! And now someone is fucking dead! Flynn covers his mouth, covering quiet expletives. You saved everyone. Carl is okay. All thanks to you. TJ lingers in the doorway, half hidden behind it. Heather. She was leaving! We were all fine! Flynn sits in the corner, clutching his repeater with a grip so tight I figure the barrel will bend any second.
Fuck! Don't say that! Don't fucking say that!
I've never seen Flynn like this. I figured he'd be the sort to take something like this as a necessity of the situation, but he's visibly shaking. Flynn, no one is going to prosecute you. She'd killed her dad and then shot Micah. You stopped her, saved your friends, saved Carl, with a single shot. If you want to feel bad about this, that's your prerogative. I'm just stating the facts. Leo says nothing as he looks over Micah's wound, the bat himself visibly fuming. You told him to shoot? Even after she picked up her shit and was heading toward the fucking door? You killed my goddamn friends! That was not remotely apparent. The angle... Fuck you, you piece of shit! Just like Jeremy said, you act like you know everything, and then when shit fucks up, you blame everyone else. Seeing Jenna increasingly backed into a corner, I decide to speak up. I don't think that's exactly fair. Rot, bitch! Micah seethes in my direction. Meanwhile, Leo mutters to him, seemingly trying to get him to calm down. Oh, is that where the moral high ground is? Where you're standing? You and your friends tried to break into Carl's house and tipped off his future kidnappers when he tried to flee from you. You are the entire reason we are here, Micah. And you still defend them, even now after seeing what they're capable of? That's absolutely unacceptable. Unacceptable? Who the fuck describes being pissed that your friend got murdered as unacceptable?
Jenna, it's a little more complicated than that. Let's just get Carl and hightail it out of Echo, yeah?
Leo looks to me as if quietly asking for me to back him up on this. And what Heather's capable of? Finally finding the strength to stop her fucking skeeve of a dad? True monster, that! Jenna ignores Micah, her attention now on Leo. Oh, is this complicated for you? I'm so sorry, Leo. I know your sense of right and wrong can be a little addled sometimes. You know, with you running around beating up people, sexually assaulting Chase in the mall, and fucking and filming a child. Bullshit! What? TJ is looking bleary-eyed and baffled in the doorway. Leo's jowls part, the wolf restraining a snarl as he releases his grip on Micah. His red eyes glare down at Jenna, and it's an absolutely menacing image in this blood-soaked room.
Come on, Carl. Let's get you up. I'll grab some snacks and bandages, and we can get you all sorted on the way back to Peyton, yeah? You too, Swiss cheese.
He pats Micah's shoulder, the bat's nostrils flared. The group exits quietly, Flynn still quietly shaking his head. Jenna has her back turned to me now, facing Heather's corpse. I reach out to her, speaking quietly now that we're the only ones in here. Jenna, they're just worked up. It's this dumb business, making people say all the wrong things, right? Why don't we get out? Her voice is curt and strange, words almost gurgled out through frustration and rage. Next thing I know, she's got her paw on my chest, pushing me out the door and slamming it behind me. I pressed my forehead against the window, watching my breath fog up the glass. Carl's straddling the middle seat with Flynn driving, and they seem to be doing a good job of calming each other down. Everyone else is in the truck bed in the back. Everyone. Except Jenna. She'd left without even so much as a goodbye, insisting that she would take Heather's dad's car. I tried to stop her, but she wouldn't listen. She kept claiming she had to do something. On our way out of town, we'd passed a couple burning houses and even heard a gunshot or two. It all makes me pretty damn glad this nightmare is almost over. Yet, we've been driving for nearly half an hour and still haven't reached the interstate. Usually Flint Road doesn't take that long to get through. Even Flynn is starting to get a little worried, checking for landmarks in the dark to make sure he hadn't missed a turn. I can still see the town in the distance, echo a glimmer of lights and smoke. 5 more minutes pass, but we eventually reach the interstate, emerging seemingly from nowhere. Streams of ambulances and police cars begin to pull in on the opposite lane, all heading into town. I glance out the back window for one final look at Echo when I notice something amiss. The lake. It's bigger. Way bigger. The shore is all the way up to the highway, with trailers and small vehicles peeking out from the tide. The others see it too. It's then that I remember something. When Jenna was leaving, there was something she was holding on to. A slightly bloody folder and booklet that she'd tucked away into the Reclamation Bureau vehicle before heading off. I suppose you won't be coming back after all. Oh? Fuck. Excellently put, kid. Holy shit, Jenna! You go, girl! Wow! It's kind of just what I heard. Here's that haunting music again. God dang. That was incredible. That was different. Micah got shot, dude. Oh shit. That's like when Kutsu got shot by Leo in his route. Oh fuck. And then, oh man, you could just, all that anger and aggression we built up over, oh my gosh, there she is. Oh, all that aggression, all that frustration, all the history Jenna had with Heather, all came out in that kick. And then she knew she needed to do it. Because she's hated Echo too. Jenna's hated Echo all this time. Jenna despises Echo. The way she spoke about Leo having sex, potentially doing statutory rape. Wow, just the amount of disdain and hate. No, just pure fucking hate she has for Echo. Man, that was wild. That change. She hit it well, man. But people in um, abusive households, they learn to hide all that. They learn how to cope and survive. And so that's what Jenna did. And damn, she hit it so well. You already knew from like Route 65 and just some other conversations she's had that her home environment was shit and she had to develop just a ton of trauma. Even some of the short stories, I think. But man, I wonder how much the Hum had to try to push her over into flooding the town. It's the way she talks about it. I don't think it was that much at all. I think she was willing. She was like prancing up to that dam with the Hum. Just a manifestation of she is prancing up there, just happy as fucking can be. And just beep, beep, beep. Just probably even saying beep, beep, beep as she does it. Beep, beep, beep. Flood the town. Fuck you, Echo. Boom. And just kills it. I can imagine that, dude. Holy crap. And poor Flynn. Oh my god. I wonder if Flynn is like the standard Republican. I wonder if that's how they would react to actually shooting somebody. Because so many of them, I know one of them, I work with one of them. And he says the only thing between a bad person with a gun and the rest of the people is a good person with a gun. That might be one thing that Flynn has on his mind. And I wonder if, like, the people with that mentality, I'm the good person keeping the bad, between the bad person with the gun and everyone else. I wonder if they would really break down the way Flynn did. Looser demeanor. Yeah. Looser cool, looser posture, just lose everything. All that, I don't want to say posing because that sounds really negative. Flynn's cool. It's not as a relationship. Sorry, folks. Not for me. But all that defensiveness, all that, calm, the visible calm. That's what I'm going for. I wonder if they would lose that after actually killing someone. Because it's so easy to say you do something like that. And then when it actually happens, it just washes over you in the moment. It's like, oh shit, I fucking shot someone. They're dead. So, man. It kind of came out of nowhere, Jenna's turn into let's fucking drown the town. But I don't know if she intended to do it, but after everything, I can kind of see her wanting to do it. Actually, not even on this route alone. Like, I could plainly see that she would have the desire to do it, like I said before. So, oh my god. And Echo is kind of a shit town, so I am totally on the board of Heather or Jenna. You go, girl. With that town. But maybe that says more about me than it does about those girls. Wow, yeah, that is wild, dude. That she did that. It's also kind of cool. Wow. That's a good ending. That's a very good ending. And actually, that is it for Echo. I think I've done everything. Except for some of the short stories, I think I've done everything relating to the main story of Echo. So next, I want to read Arches. And then I'm kind of surprised and actually a little saddened that what I read, it doesn't branch off. It doesn't have routes. It's just the conclusion. But I am eager to see what the conclusion is. It's going to be awesome. But wow, fucking Jenna, dude. It's just cool. There's such an incredible story. Like Skinny, Wolfie, everyone involved. You, excellent job. I love your story. Just clapping. You know, everyone just give them a little applause because they deserve it. They deserve it so much. So good job, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. It's been, years, and just focus on Echo for the most part. What an incredible story. Thank you all for watching, or listening, or both. And next, I think we're going to do Arches and a few other projects. I have something special I'd like to do too. Kind of Echo related. But until then, thank you again for staying with me, for going through the entire series with me. I really, really appreciate it. All the growth we've had. And everyone who chatted with me, I enjoy chatting with you all, including especially those who just despise Jenna when I got the hots for her because I'm straight. And keep it all alive, guys. It's awesome. And you guys are awesome. All of you. I hope you all know that. Thank you so much again. And as always, I will see you in the next route. Goodbye, everyone.